My name is Maylum. I'm 46 years old. I've been sober for 14 months. So I was born and raised in the West Davenport. Had a big family. There was 4 of us kids. Yeah, and then my mom sat me down one day and was telling me all these deep, dark secrets. Her and my dad were separated at the time. He was an alcoholic and she was a manic depressant. She was on medication. They were struggling, and my grandma had told me to, watch after her because, my mom was drinking and on medication and everything. And so me and my mom fell asleep on the couch. The next morning, my grandma woke me up to get ready for school. And my mom was like in literally like a prayer position from the floor to the couch, which I didn't think anything of it. And I crawled over her, didn't want to disturb her. Got me ready for school, helped get the kids ready for school, and then went to wake her up to take us to school, and she was dead. I remember like it was yesterday, so vivid. Changed my whole life. It really did. One of the secrets she told me was that my dad wasn't my real dad and who my real dad was. And from a 10-year-old's perspective, like I said, he was an alcoholic and he was abusive physically, emotionally, mentally, not sexually. But about a year later, I'm running away now. Meanwhile, from 10 to 11 years old, I'm running away because I was scared of him. Anything I would do, whether it was not coming home on time or whatever the case was, I would, get my butt whooped. I remember I got kicked out of school. He was pissed. He was very upset. And took all my stuff, put it out in the backyard in a burn pile, made me watch out the window. I burned it. Everything. Toys, clothes, you name it. Took me to the barber shop, shaved my head. Took me to the resale shop, bought me corduroy pants and plaid shirts, and then wanted me to go to school like that. I think I went one day like that, and then I never went back to school like that. I was embarrassed, so I would run away. If I did any little thing wrong and I knew I was going to get my butt whooped, I wouldn't go home. And so I didn't. And I would live on the street. There was other runaways that had similar situations in my neighborhood. So we would all congregate in the street, sleep in semi-trailers or abandoned houses or, wherever. And then in the mornings we would all go to one of the other friends' house because the mom and dad would be at work and we would eat. That's how we did it every day. And I would run away so much that I ended up becoming a ward of the state because you just can't have kids running around and, doing things. I would, break in cars or places to sleep or whatever, and they would use drugs, be it an inhalant or weed or drinking. And I would do it just because they were doing it, and then I figured out, well, this is better and different than what I was feeling or going through. It like put me in a delusional world, I guess you could say. I went to several boys' homes, group homes, detention centers, foster cares, everywhere. Eldora was the last stop. I got out of there, and I had been out not even 6 months. I was right back to the house, so I run away again. And I was just that was my go-to, run. 16 years old, I was, started getting into drugs, meth. That's the first time I did meth. Started selling meth, as a 16-year-old, we're buying cars and living in hotels and just thinking we're just living the life, At that time, we would steal car radios and subwoofers and stuff. I went to prison, I was 17. 3 years and 10 months later, it was May 31st, 2000, I got out. I had grown from 5'8", 145 pounds to 6'3", 245 pounds. I have all these people that I had met in prison, and from 17 to 21 that's pretty influential years. And these guys I ran around with were all from Des Moines, and they were all, they loved me, they cared about me, they helped me, this and that. So that was the type of love that I wanted, I accepted, that I needed, I felt like. And I'm not saying they didn't care about me, 'cause that's not, but they were just as messed up as I was, you know what I mean? Well, here I go, back selling drugs again, and I'm using them again. And every time I went to prison or jail or anything that was like, oh, this hurts, it sucks, you just, when your mind gets cleaner and you're not on drugs and you're thinking about your life, you always want to do something better, different, but you don't feel like you know how. I feel I would get closer and closer and closer and closer to God. But I think God was putting me in all these places to save me from myself, for His purpose, for His plan. And I sat in jail, and I'm tired. I'm wore out. I'm going to prison again 7 times now. I'm thinking, this is another, and I'm gonna get 15 years now because I'm an habitual offender for this felony. And I applied for the 180. I just wanted to change. I did. I just had my baby. I done messed up with the other 3 babies I had. And I prayed and I wanted and I asked and I got it. And I have goals at what I want to do and how I'm going to get there. And I know it's going to take time, but I know that when I get there, it's going to mean a lot more because I earned it. It wasn't given to me. I didn't take it from nobody. I didn't use somebody's addiction to supply my money.
See how tight you're in there?
So I'm in the ironworkers now. I've been in there since June. Love it. I'm learning. It's a lot more to it than you think. But I go to work. I get off work and then I go hang out with my son, watching him grow and like the things he does is like, it means everything to me because, you know, I haven't had to have this experience with any of my children. And, you know, I didn't have that either growing up. And I want to, you know, like my dad, my mom, you only live one life. You can't take back yesterday. You just can't. You can't do anything about it. And I don't, to this day right now in Christ and the way that I feel and the forgiveness that I've been given, I can really say I forgave both of them. And it wasn't hard. Because look at all I've done. Look at all I've done. Makes them look like saints. I hurt a lot of people, thousands of people. Like I really destroyed a lot of lives and not even realizing it at the time because I was being selfish, but I just wanted money. I just wanted money. I didn't want to have the nice clothes, the fast cars, and nice. I wanted to be flashy and I wanted to have everything. And I think about like, if that was my kid, some guy selling drugs with my kid. And the path that it takes you down and what it does to you and your family and like, yeah, I feel bad. The other friends that I was running with and doing all the things I was doing with, they could see the difference in me right now. I have friends here I brought here to this program. I brought them here and they look at me like, man, dude, you know, I'm inspiring them. And it's not something I'm going on my way to do. I'm just living my life. But I also want to help somebody else the way that I was helped, you know? This place helped me a lot. It has, really has. Like the honesty from everybody here, the love, the forgiveness, the grace, the understanding, like they've all been through it. So you're not doing anything they haven't done or thought or said or felt. So it helps, you know? I've been to 29 treatment facilities and I was clean and sober 29 times, but I've never been delivered. That's the difference. God took it away. He really did. When you give to Him, whatever it is you give to Him, He replaces it with something else so that you don't have a void. And the more you learn about Him and His heart and the way that He is, and you know, that's what you're filling them holes with. His love, His compassion, His forgiveness, His sacrifice. And that's what He's done for me, and that's how I give Him everything on a daily basis. My life's not perfect. I struggle with things all the time, and I always immediately, Lord, take it away. Here it is, take it. I do it every day. I talk to Him all throughout the day, numerous times. And it's not nothing spectacular, ain't no freaking, you know, it's just slight little comments, you know, and I'll thank Him for everything too, even for the hard times, because at the end of the day, all of that brought me to this point right now. All of it. And He was there the whole time, you know, saving me, literally saving me.